What's up, guys? Welcome back to our video. It was Spider-Man No Way Home out now, and it's been out for like quite a while, and it's still currently dominating right now at the box office, being like the highest grossing movie of all time and the greatest superhero movie of all time. And now I am gonna issue a spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, because we're about to talk like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in this video, because you're probably click right now, but because Andrew Garfield Spider-Man himself has come out and talked about his return in Spider-Man No Way Home, and they did an interview with Variety to talk about like what was it like returning to the role in Spider-Man No Way Home and possibly a future appearance in future Marvel products. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the article from Variety talking about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, about what's like him returning and possibly like a future appearance in future Marvel products from him as well. So let's get into it. And now, with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in an interview with Variety talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, here's the first question that they asked him. They said, starting simple, why did you say yes to Spider-Man No Way Home? And he said, I wasn't expecting to ever have a conversation again about potentially playing Peter Parker. I felt very excited just to be a fan again, but I got this call from Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige and John Watts with this idea. It was immediately undeniable. It sounded incredibly fun and incredibly spiritual, like trippy and thematically interesting on a base level. As a Spider-Man fan, just the idea of seeing three Spider-Man in the same frame wasn't enough. So what he's saying in this article is that he was like very excited about coming back, playing a Peter Parker, you know, Spider-Man again. And within this, like he said, like he got a call from Amy Pascal, like John Watts, and Kevin Feige. And now with this, if y'all remember back in May of 2021 last year, he was on the Happy, Sad, and Confused podcast with Josh Horowitz, where he said, I did not get a call, or I'm not the werewolf. Like, he got a call from like, you know, 3 different people. I mean, he didn't just get like a call from somebody. He got a call from, you know, 3 different people. And then it goes on to say, the pitch was really enticing. They said, you play this character in your way, and what we want to explore if you had an opportunity. If you were dumped into this other universe and faced with this younger you and this older you, how will you respond? And so, with that being said, the only reason they pitched him the idea of being in Spider-Man No Way Home is that if he played his version of Peter Parker, and you were to talk like you, how you respond. And we saw that in Spider-Man No Way Home when both of Peter Parkers, like Tobey and Andrew, were talking about things that happened in their world, with like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to talk about like what happened in his world, from losing Gwen and losing Uncle Ben as well, and suffering from loss as well. And then it says, we talked a lot about mentorship. We talked a lot about brotherhood and about what it is to be the older brother, younger brother, and the middle brother. There's also a thing of seeing someone you love walk down a path that you've already walked on, and you know it doesn't lead to the place where you're ultimately meant to go. And so, I mean, this part with Andrew Garfield saying like brothers, like we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home, we're seeing that the science bros were working together, and in the meantime, you know, science lab trying to come up with an antidote to cure all the villains to turn out to be good again. And with like at the end with Tom Holland Spider-Man like hugging the like 2 other Peter Parkers, which like really that isn't sweet to see like on screen. And when it's like he always wanted to have brothers, and he said right before the final battle on the Statue of the Liberty scaffolding, he said, I've always wanted to have brothers too, Tobey and Tom Spider-Man. The next, they said to him, you and Tobey Maguire really did this. This wasn't a green screen set up in your driveway. And they have a profound impact on Tom Holland Spider-Man. And he says, we were shooting for 2 weeks, Tobey and I, but I think we managed to achieve something that is not just showing up and going hi bye. My Spider-Man got to save his younger brother's romantic relationship and potentially, and to heal the most traumatic moment of his own life through doing it for his younger brother, making sure that he didn't have the same fate. There's something cosmically beautiful about that. It meant getting a second chance at saving Gwen, Stacey Garfield's love interest in the Amazing Spider-Man, played by Emma Stone. And like what I mean by that is like that part in Spider-Man No Way Home where like MJ was about to fall like to her death, and Tom Spider-Man was about to try and save her, but he was stopped by the Green Goblin and his glider. And we saw Andrew Garfield guy his redemption by saving Zendaya's MJ, because in his universe he couldn't save Gwen, which why she died. And with this like with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man saying that he saved his younger brother's relationship, like that really means like he really like cares about catching and saving as MJ and about gaining his redemption. Then the next thing that I asked him was to talk about your time with your fellow Spider-Man. What did you share off screen, comparing notes about spandex and fans? And he says, I think the first time we were all in the suit together, it was hilarious because it's like just three ordinary dudes who were just actors, just hanging out, but then also you just become a fan and say, oh my god, we're all together in the suits and we're doing the pointing thing. We're referring to the meme in the movie, of course, the popular meme. And with him saying that, he's saying that he had a really fun time with Tobey and Tom, Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland on the set of Spider-Man No Way Home. And with that, he had a really fun time with them, like shooting Spider-Man No Way Home and everything. And especially, he's referring to the pointing thing, because if you remember in Spider-Man No Way Home, the three Spider-Man did the meme where they point at each other. That was the popular meme, and they did it in the movie, and then it can shoot. And also like shows Tobey, Tom, and Andrew had a really fun time on set, and they had a really good relationship with each other as the Spider-Man. And within the bottom of this, it says, there's a line I improvised in the movie looking at Maguire and Holland, and I told them I love them. That was just me loving them. And now, like, that wasn't just like, that was in the script. Andrew Garfield did improvise that line. I love you guys right before the three Spider-Man went and it's a battle together, like, in that swinging sequence, which I really loved, like, so much, and that was like the highlight of the movie itself. But with him saying like, I love you guys, and with now with Tobey and Tom saying to Andrew Spider-Man, I love you back. And I suppose like Andrew like was a fan of Tobey and Tom's Spider-Man, and with that was just like really awesome. The next that they asked him was, a lot of the conversation about this movie has been about a sort of redemption for your Spider-Man. And narratively, commercially, how does that feel? And then he responds by saying, I'm so grateful. I'm just really grateful that I got to tie up some loose ends for the Peter that I was playing. I love that character, and I'm grateful that I got to work with these incredible actors, that this incredible director, and Marvel in conjunction with Sony. It was joyful and a feeling of closure for me. And there were so many unanswered questions for my Peter where we left it. And I got to step back in and get some healing for him. And also we're really supporting Holland's Peter and honoring his character, completing that trilogy, not distracting or detracting from it. And for what I'm saying there is that he's so grateful to be stepping back into the role as Spider-Man and Spider-Man No Way Home, and he's feeling grateful that he got to tie up some loose ends with his Peter Parker, and also supporting Tom and Tobey's Spider-Man as well, and for him, catching Zendaya's MJ, and also for his redemption for not seeing like Gwen and his universe. And with that, we could tell that like Andrew Garfield really had a fun time playing his Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, and Spider-Man No Way Home. And then the final thing that they asked him was, would you be open to coming back to the character? And then he says, I mean, yes, I'm definitely open to something if it felt right. Peter and Spider-Man, those characters are all about service to the greater good and the many. He's a working class boy from Queens that knows struggle and loss, and is deeply empathetic. I would try to borrow Peter Parker's and ethical framework in that. If there was an opportunity to step back in and tell more of that story, I would have to feel very sure and certain in myself. And what he means by that, he means like he's definitely open to coming back to Spider-Man, like to playing Peter Parker, and Spider-Man. Like he's definitely feeling confident to step back into that role. And to me, I feel like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man did like so well in Spider-Man No Way Home, and I feel like he deserves to have his trilogy could be complete, because his trilogy is not complete, and like he deserves like his third Spider-Man movie with the Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Spider-Gwen and all that. And as I talked about in my Morbius video, it's like with Andrew Garfield showing up in like a Morbius post-credit scene, that would definitely set up Andrew Garfield's next Spider-Man movie, the Amazing Spider-Man 3. So yeah, I can't wait to see him like dominate as Spider-Man in upcoming like movies as well. And yeah, in this article from Variety, it shows that Andrew Garfield was like really glad that I really like had a great time in Spider-Man No Way Home. To me, I really enjoyed Andrew Garfield's performance in Spider-Man No Way Home. I feel like he did great in this interview, like to talk about what it was like working with Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland's Spider-Man, referring to as brothers or the Science Bros, of course, and with Tom's Spider-Man like hugging the other two Spider-Man as well, and him talking about his redemption for savings and his MJ from the way that he couldn't save Gwen in his universe, and now how he's open to be coming back to a Spider-Man, coming back to his character to finally complete a trilogy, which is something that us the fans though really want from Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to do like Amazing Spider-Man 3 and other multiple projects with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man as well. And plus with the Morbius post-credits, it would definitely be an awesome setup for Andrew Garfield Spider-Man as well. So yeah, that is gonna be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and what you thought from that article from Variety that shows Andrew Garfield Spider-Man like coming back at Spider-Man No Way Home and some other future Marvel projects as well if that ever happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe and turn on notification bell for future videos. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.